It is October 2nd, 2021, so time for another monthly update video. I'll tell you what we did during September that you might have missed and what we've got coming up in October. I always like to begin by highlighting three big things, and they are indeed big things this time around. Next Saturday, a week from today, we have the big event, the International Stoicon Conference. All of you are invited. If you don't have your ticket already, you can find the link below in the video description. I'll talk more about that in the October time. Also coming up in October, towards the end of the month, is another international event, but it goes on for a week, Stoic Week, and this year we also have Stoic Week for students. So modern Stoicism is kicking out all the stops this month. This is the season of Stoicism. Again, more about that in October. And on a personal note, some of you may be interested. This is big thing number 3. I have all my class assignments for spring 2022, and I'll tell you about that. It's quite nice, quite interesting, and I will tell you all about that in just a little bit. All right, what went on in September? You may have seen some of the pictures of me taking walks. I got to do more of that, got to the gym regularly, was teaching my classes. I have 3 classes this semester, which is considerably less than previous semesters because I'm not teaching at Milwaukee Area Technical College. As a matter of fact, I may be done with them altogether. And a lot of events. We had my usual online AMA, that's Ask Me Anything, our Hegel sessions. For Worlds of Speculative Fiction, I did Stanislaw Lem, and I concentrated on Solaris, but also talked about his work more generally. This is a big year for Stanislaw Lem. The Polish government declared it the year of Lem, and September was also the anniversary. So that's quite important. We did the Wisdom for Life show, 2 new show episodes, and we switched to a different show time that I'll talk more about later. We had our classic metal class, which I don't have the video out for yet, but you can see pretty soon. Scott and I talking about metal cover songs. I also did the first presentation of the Stoicon season at Stoicon X Norway. I was the first person up. The video and also the transcript of that are available. I'll put those links below. What else? Did a radio interview with River West Radio about Stoicism and philosophy that you can access worldwide online. And I did I did several podcasts. Not all of them have come out. The ones that did come out were the Lifeblood podcast talking about critical thinking and how to apply it, and the Existential Stoic podcast. The name and title of that kind of gives you an idea what we talked about. I shot a lot of videos. I got 5 half-hour Hegel videos released to my Patreon supporters, released some of the older ones to other people. I got 1 book review video done, a little bit less than I had planned to, but that's at least 1. I did a Sadler story about playing soccer. I did a caption contest that went quite well, and I did 2 unboxing videos. I didn't mean to do 2 unboxing videos, but, Margaret Graver's book came, and then this giant 35-pound box of books came as well. There are videos for each of the events, like the AMA. I should have mentioned my live readings from my book, Reason Fulfilled by Revelation. I've been continuing on with that, and I've been getting into the actual translations. And what else? A lot of Ursula K. Le Guin videos on A Wizard of Earthsea, the first of her 6 Earthsea books. I am teaching a class on that this semester. So those are for my students, but they're also for you. And I'm going to be rolling out a lot more, about 5 times as much, right? We've got 1 book completely finished. I'll be rolling out a lot more of those as well. In the Sadler's Lectures podcast, I finished out the series on Alistair McIntyre's After Virtue, Chapter 14, and started in on John Stuart Mill's On Liberty. There were quite a few podcast episodes in that, and then I started doing some more Sadler shorts because people seem to really like those. Those are those 3 to 5 minute podcasts where I start out saying, Pascal says in this text, and then I explain it a little bit how it has ramifications for our life. What else? I'm in good health. My family has had a couple medical issues. My daughter had a contusion on the bone of her foot, and other family things going on. But luckily nobody's really in bad shape, so that's nice to say. And I've really been enjoying my classes, teaching them. The students are motivated and interested, and that's probably enough for September. Oh, I'll mention one other thing. Lots and lots and lots of back end stuff on getting, Stoic Week and the big Stoicon, which I am one of the co-organizers for, and I'm going to be the MC for, getting all of that up and ready. But more about that in just a moment. All right, so October is going to be a pretty packed month. We actually don't begin with Stoicon, but we'll be talking about that in a moment. On the 6th, I'll be doing a radio interview with my wife and partner, Andy Shaka, on River West Radio, which you can listen to live all across the world just by going to their website. If you're in the Milwaukee area, 104.1 FM, you can listen to it on the actual radio, but most people will be listening on the internet. We are going to be talking about Stoicon, Stoicism, and some of the other things that we're involved in. Then on the 9th, the big event, Stoicon 2021. It's online. Anybody can join. You just got to get a ticket, and you can get a ticket just by making a donation for the price of not even a cup of coffee. You can participate in an entire day of events with great speakers, panels, a workshop, and we've got a keynote address by Nancy Sherman. Those who are familiar with virtue ethics, Stoicism, Aristotelianism, and military ethics will know that name. She is a great speaker. And so we've got this really cool online event lined up. Again, the website for the tickets is below. You can check out the entire schedule and see whether you want to do it. You've got to get a ticket before the event starts, though, so if you want to join in on it. Then on the 13th, the following week at 5 p.m., I'll have my Hegel Q&A and discussion session open to the public. Anybody who wants to join in, talk about Hegel, German idealism, philosophy in general, I will be there. On the 16th, we'll be having the AMA, that is Ask Me Anything session online. So if you've got questions for me, that's the place to bring them. Not as, irrelevant comments on videos. Show up for that session and you'll get an answer if you get in early enough, because the questions pile up. On the 23rd, that's another Saturday, we at 12 p.m. noon. All these times, by the way, are Central Time. Classic metal class. Scott Cerulli and I have already got a topic in mind and lined up, and we're going to be going into that. It's really, I haven't come up with a catchy title for it, but it's how did bands get access to their fans through video before MTV came on the scene? Turns out there was an entire ecosystem of shows and videos and things like that. So we're going to talk about that pre-MTV, and we're going to talk about the impact that MTV had on the metal scene as it was developing. Also on the 23rd at 2 p.m., Philosophy Chat. That's a more intimate session for my Patreon supporters at a particular level. On the 30th, we'll finally get around to doing another political theory and practice discussion about how in the United States, we don't really have systems for very important things. Federalism and localism have created a very interesting and perplexing let's call it condition for us that I think a lot of people in other countries don't really know that much about. And this provides us with an answer to, well, why can't you fix X? So we'll talk about that. On the 18th through the 24th, it's Stoic Week. And so you're probably going to want to get ready for that. That's a Monday through a Sunday, free to anybody who wants to participate. Every year, thousands of people live like a Stoic for a week, reading some morning and evening reading and meditations, listening to some guided meditations, doing some practices, talking with each other in an online class. So that's a big thing as well. Usually it follows right after Stoicon, but this time we spaced them out a little bit. Every Saturday, you can listen to the Wisdom for Life radio show on River West Radio at 5 p.m. Central Time. We do new shows every other week. So if you're listening to it at an off week, it'll be an old pre-recorded show, but it's always interesting stuff. There is the Milwaukee Stoic Fellowship as well. We're kind of reconfiguring that, so stay tuned for that. I think that's it for the events for the month. I am also going to be pretty preoccupied with my online classes. I'm teaching 2 for Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, 1 for Carthage College, a business ethics for them, an ethics for artists and designers, and the Le Guin class for Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. What else? Videos. I've got some good steam going with Hegel, going through the phenomenology of spirit. And so I'm going to keep grinding away at this with the half-hour Hegel project, maybe get 6 videos done this month. I'm going to be doing some more book review videos. These are long overdue. People give me books thinking that they will get reviewed, and really I need to get around to doing it. We'll do some more fun stuff as well, like Sadler stories and caption contests. If I've got something good to unbox, I will unbox it. Event videos, of course. And by the way, in the Modern Stoicism channel, you'll see a lot of other stuff coming out, not just in my main YouTube channel, but Modern Stoicism. I've been doing a lot of video editing of the interviews that we're doing with the speakers and workshop providers. And what else? You're going to see a lot of Ursula K. Le Guin, specifically on the Tombs of Atuan, her second novel, but probably, maybe, some stuff on The Farthest Shore, the third in the original Earthsea trilogy, which grew to be 6 books. Podcast work, I'm going to keep doing some more shorts, and then I'm going to do some Tolstoy. I've got a few podcast episodes on him to edit on what is art. Then we're going to start doing some Lev Shestov and some Friedrich Nietzsche, getting ready for the classes that I'm going to be teaching next semester. So let me tell you about that before we close out. That was one of the 3 big things, right? So Carthage College, I am going to be teaching a medieval philosophy class, which will be a lot of fun. I haven't gotten to teach that for a long time. I already have a few thinkers in mind. Obviously, the 3 A's, Augustine, Anselm, Aquinas, but, Boethius is going to be in there as well. I might do John Scotus Erigena. He's somebody who I haven't taught before, but I've read, since I was an undergraduate, and I think would be kind of cool. And then we'll see who else we can get in there. Maybe some Bonaventure, as a contemporary of Thomas. Maybe actually reading some stuff about St. Francis along with Bonaventure, from the Little Flowers. It's not just a medieval philosophy, but a medieval thought class. I was actually thinking about having some other stuff like on the 7 deadly sins, like Gregory on Moralia and Job, or the Psychomachia. Anyway, we'll see. I'll be writing more about what I'm doing with that. So that's one class I'm teaching next semester. Another class is my existentialist philosophy and literature, which has become a staple for me at Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. That'll be either the 3rd or 4th time around that I've taught the class. And that is a lot of fun. That's an area that I'm particularly interested in. And then I'll be doing another Religions of the World class, which is a class that I used to teach every semester in some of my former jobs. And I think it's a great class to do. It's a lot of fun with art majors because we get to look at architecture and art and ritual and all that sort of stuff. So that is what is on the horizon. Once again, let me remind you, if you don't have a ticket for Stoicon and you want to go October 9th, online event, open to everybody. it's the most inexpensive major international conference I think you'll ever find. We wanted to make it as easy for anybody to attend as possible. If you have any interest at all in Stoicism, you probably want to come to this event. So a lot to look forward to, and I look forward myself to seeing you in the online events, crossing paths virtually, and if you're here in the Milwaukee area, maybe I'll see you as I take my long walks through the downtown and Menominee Valley.